We're Eulogy, and you're watching Rolling Into Metal with Josh and Reese. Been
Rolling into metal.
Okay, everyone, welcome to another episode into Rolling into Metal. What have we got planned for today?
Right, so today we are going to speak to Eulogy. Now, Eulogy's been around quite a few years now. It's been a guitar singing for many years. They're actually okay with some just before New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, by the way, mate.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Have you got any New Year's?
Yeah, right. Just so you tell me to get ready, so maybe we'll try out.
Yeah, I reckon we should.
Maybe.
Get up early and wear get more band t-shirts.
Yeah, right, all right, right. See ya.
Yeah.
So there's Slayer. All right,
Yeah.
the same on Slayer.
He's addicted to Slayer. He's absolutely addicted. So yeah, Kerry Kin, if you're listening, just please podcast. You'll have a wet dream over that.
I mean, we've been do that many, many times.
Yeah.
So far, 3 times it jumped in. Yeah. But yeah. So Eulogy.
So thanks guys for joining us. As we mentioned to our viewers before you joined us, you are Eulogy, and yeah, if you want to introduce yourself.
My name is Neil, and obviously I'm the vocalist for Eulogy and also the bass player as well. So I'm getting quite used to multitasking now. Took a while, mine, but I'm getting there. Yeah, just about. I'm starting to remember the lyrics and things now. So we are getting there 7 years on.
But much to Mike's frustration in about the.
I let Josh introduce himself.
Yeah, so I'm Josh. I play the bongos and the rest of the drums as well. Weirdly, I haven't brought bongos to a gig yet, but I might have to do that. Yeah, so that's what I do.
Well, funny enough, we can get to the first thing that I wanted to ask you about your bongos. Are you going to be taking them to your next gig to play Duality? Because I see that you need a bit more members to play that song, because you did a Slipknot cover.
Yeah, so I took my kit to Fuel on Friday. But obviously, if I'm playing a Slipknot song, I might need to like double the size of the kit because I don't think it's quite big enough for a Slipknot song. I mean, yeah, we are a 4-member band as well, so we need another 5 people to complete the 9. So you know, if there's any takers, if somebody wants to smack on a big, massive, keg of beer, that'd be awesome.
Jump around in some gimp masks and stuff.
Yeah. We forgot our gimp masks on Friday, so yeah, never mind.
I make sure to bring it to the next gig. I could always chuck a keg at Reese's forehead.
I suppose you don't.
But you've got to do it in time. That's your thing. So I'll throw it as well.
Yeah, I think it worked well. I'm very good with timing, but that's all. I know it well.
It was nice, though. I didn't expect to do a Slipknot song.
And I think that's part of the fun of it all, is the fact that, nobody expects a rock band to suddenly come out with Slipknot.
Yeah.
But, Duality, it's a cracking song, and it's something that we've all loved for years and years and years. So we all got together and thought, right, if we're going to do a cover, let's give this one a go. And yeah, it always goes down well. At the end of the day, people know it, they love it. So it just gets people involved in the gig, so it's a really good track.
Also, it's a challenge. Unfortunately, you probably have a song. It's a hard song to sing as well.
It is hard.
Tell me about it. And always before I sing this song, where the boys know that I always sort of worry a little bit about before I hit the song, because the chorus in particular, it goes right up the octave, particularly we play it. So that's why part of the reason we leave it till later on in the set. My vocals are warmed up and stuff, and I can go with it then, But yeah, you're right. It is a really difficult song to sing. He's a fantastic singer.
I mean, from my perspective, drum wise,
hard.
I played Joey Jordison, for God's sake.
I was waiting for you to spin around, but then spin you around maybe next time.
I did ask him to. I did say, if you want, boys, you can lift me up in the air and spin me around, but no, they didn't go for it. So Yeah, so I was particularly nervous first time we suggested it, but I love it. Such a great song as well.
Yeah, and it's a really good tune, and again, all them, like I said, I've never seen it done as a full piece before, and I thought you were joking, Neil, when you said, "Do you want us to play Slipknot?" I was like, "Oh, they pissing us off now, aren't they? They're not gonna be playing like Foo Fighters or some shit like that." And then next thing you know, then you play
I love to see you singing Foo
you play
Fighters.
Slipknot. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Some of
could
them-
have come out. We could have come out with Rick Astley or something, but
If
we,
I could
we thought
give
Slipknot
you
would
a-
probably be better.
I'm gonna ask for Cannibal Corpse next time. So you could growl.
I said, give me a couple of weeks to sort of listen to it and stuff, and then try and perfect the vocals for it. I'm not sure whether they're singing any lyrics, but
Yeah, I always think that.
You need to be very warm for that, Neil.
oh god, yeah.
Yeah. We were originally gonna sort of do a bit of a teaser for our show. We were gonna say, right, we're gonna play a Metallica song because everyone would be like, "Oh, this makes so much sense. These guys doing Metallica," and then
Yeah.
we'd play a couple of bars of I don't know, Enter Sandman or something, and then go nah, and then jump straight into Duality. You know, something a bit different.
Maybe try it next time, but then again, now that you've said it on the podcast, so spoiler alert, sorry.
Well, we've already said we said Rick Astley as well, so we could do that. That might be
Yeah.
good.
Oh no, you got it off your intro now.
Yeah.
Next time you come on stage, you'll play that.
So like the first time I heard you sing music was a song called Torment. I think that was off your first album. Your voice is very male operatic, you know what I mean? So it's very Welsh Valley's male choir sound. So I asked you, what are your influences there?
Funny you should say the male operatic sound. I did sing in a male voice choir for many years, if I'm honest.
I can tell, I can tell.
And people don't expect that because for a rock metal singer, you think, well, Jesus Christ, male sort of choir song. But I used to sing top tenor in a male voice choir for years, just as a local charity thing to support the school my kids go to. And I really enjoyed it. It was good. And not just that, what it actually does, it develops your voice, etc. But my voice has changed, I would say, over the years and things, and it's got a lot more rasp to the vocal and things now.
Yeah.
And it's just developed that way as I've been going along. I've been singing since I've been in band since I was sort of 20, 18, 19, 20, I'm 50 now. So yeah, it has developed and sort of moved a little bit over the years and things. But yeah, it tends to be on the higher range of the octave.
It's good to have identity in it because you're obviously a Welsh band. So, to have a bit of Wales in there as well, just a good thing, like.
Oh, totally, yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, Eulogy has got an original sound.
Yeah.
I think, a lot of people try to say, oh, what genre are they in? Are they hard rock? Are they metal? Do they sound like Metallica? Do they sound like Iron Maiden? Do they sound... We don't really sound like any one of them bands. We just sound like Eulogy. And I think, that's the identity that we've developed. It's quite a unique sound, actually. And, it's got dark undertone lyrics underneath everything as well, with melodic choruses and things. So, I think it's over the last few years, we've developed a particular type of sound. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. We're Welsh, and that does come through in my vocals. If you listen to the songs on the album, you can hear my Welsh accent cutting through. I'm a Rhondda boy at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. Because Florence Black, Florence Black and stuff. Because when Tristan sings a couple of songs, and where you could hear his Welsh accent coming through, and I know a band like those Damn Crows, you would probably think that they're American because they sound American, but then they're right back. They're not like, oh, you're Welsh then.
Oh, I know. You have a chat to Shane or whatever, all the rest of the band and things. They are very, very Welsh. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, listening to Florence Black, some of the new stuff and that they doing, they have got that Welsh sort of twang on the
Yeah.
vocal when it comes through and things. And I can't get rid of it either, really. I don't want to get rid of it. At the end of the
Oh.
day, it gives you an identity, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, I think that's important. Yeah, I think we're all proud to be Valley boys and come from Wales
Yeah.
and things. And whenever
yeah.
we go, wherever we go, we always come up front and say, we're from Cardiff, we're from Wales. So yeah, it's good to promote it, I think.
It's great. Max voice does metal. That's what I call it.
Yes, was it?
Yeah, I mean, there's some fantastic bands coming out of Wales at the moment,
Yeah.
and hitting the international scene, which is great, isn't it? It's great to see,
Yeah.
like.
No, it's fantastic, and it's really good that it's growing and growing. I wanted to ask you as well, because obviously I wanna try to get you guys there, and I wanna ask my viewers if any of them know anybody that can get these guys up the mountain. That'd be great. But have you ever thought about going to Steelhouse? Because I think
Yes.
you guys would love it up that mountain.
It's definitely your scene.
Well, we were talking about this the other day. I mean, when we've done like Metal to the Masters and things like that, and we've just been thinking about getting to Bloodstock, we sort of sometimes second guess whether we'd fit that scene. But when we think of events like Download, Steelhouse, and events like that, our sound would probably be a bit more fitted in there than the full-on black metal stuff that you get down at Bloodstock. But I think Steelhouse for us as a next awesome festival to get on, that would be fab. And we have spoken about it before, and I saw a lot of the footage that was coming out of last year's festival, and they looked insane. Seeing the footage of Florence Black and stuff up on the stage and those damn crows, it just looked like a brilliant festival. And the crowd were loving it. And I think if we could get onto something like that, it'd be just crazy.
Yeah, totally. And I totally echo that, Josh. And if there is any promoters or anything out there that are looking to book bands for things like Steelhouse, give us a message, because Eulogy are up for it 100%. We would love something like that. We've played a couple of festivals and things last year, 2023, which was quite good. We headlined the Monkey Festival up in Newcastle on Lyme, I think it was. And we went down really well. It was a really, really good festival. And our music fitted in perfectly there, So the thing is, I guess we're in that sort of place where we've played lots of local gigs in and around Wales, pubs and everywhere, really. I mean, we've been going since 2017, really, in different guises and things. And we're in that place now where we've got an album, we've toured, we've got on different gigs with different bands, we've supported bigger bands and things. We need to just lift things up a little next to the next level and start getting out there more. And hopefully we'll get seen by some of these promoters that are running these bigger festivals, but things like Steelhouse and things like that. That's what we're hoping, because we pride ourselves in our live sound. We've got a fantastic live show, live sound. You guys went the other Friday and you've seen us and things. And that's what it's all about for us, is playing gigs, and we're just really eager to get out there, really, and start playing gigs around the UK.
Yeah,
because you're one of those bands that you sort of create an environment. You have a really good sound live, and the sound is thick and it's heavy, and it really brings character. Especially like, say, the song like Save Us All. The intro to that, it really does get the crowd back.
Yeah, it teases you at the start, doesn't it? That's nice and slow at the intro, and then you just kind of don't expect it to kick you in the teeth, and then it sort of does. I think one of the good things, just talking about our sound generally, we recorded our album, and I mean, I'm not a guitar guy, but Neil, we recorded the album in D standard, right?
It was, yeah. It was dropped down slightly, yeah, but it was D standard.
And then our lives, and sort of a few weeks after, we ended up dropping our tune in, and the amount of depth of sound we've got now live, it's well, I mean, I'm allowed to say it, was just our sound, I guess, but it's just as you said, it's a meaty sort of deeper sound, but it gives us that impact that we are sort of looking for when we put on our live shows.
Yeah, it's very impactful. It's like the raw sound, like Yeah, every band's like airborne, are you? Kind of
It
thing.
dropped down to C. We're in C now, so it's
Yeah.
dropped down to C. So there's quite a few semitones really from the E standard, And in hindsight, I think we probably would have recorded the album in C standard. But not long after the album was released and things, we started playing in rehearsal and thought, actually, I wonder what this sounds like with that slightly deeper tone again. And when we dropped down to C, I realized my vocals sat really nicely in the mix around C. So that's where we're at the moment. And obviously our guitarist, Mike Williams, he prides himself in his massive sound, and Mike has got a couple of cracking sort of pieces of kit there that he cranks up doing the live gigs and things. And it is, like you said, a wall of sound that comes out of it. So
but a pleasant wall of sound, not a horrible wall of sound. It's a nice wall. It's the sort of wall of sound you want to be hit with,
It's into metal, that sound like.
Yeah, and I think Neil's vocal, I think just complements it because it lifts. It goes from that again musically, it's quite dark, but then Neil's vocal lifts it to a point where it's lovely, nice and balanced.
Yeah, did that particular tune as well? I think I mentioned this to you before. Did that particular tune inspire you from Alter Bridge? It has that kind of Mark Tremonti-esque intro to it.
Yeah, Mike is a big fan of Tremonti.
Yeah. Which song is that?
Save Us All. It sounds a bit
Save
like the end is here, basically, in a way like that.
Yeah.
Both myself and Mike, we love Alter Bridge and things, and I think we've grown up with it, and it's blood, that sort of music and things. And Mike writes the majority of the music and the lyrics and things, and he brings them riffs then to the rehearsal studio and things, and we start playing them in. And they morph and change slightly, and then I set the vocal melody over the top of it all. And so we all sort of develop the songs, but originally they normally come out of Mike's guitar, and then he shares it with the band, and then it acts as a catalyst then to sort of bring the song together. So that Tremonti sound is probably starting to flow through some of the new tracks and things like that as well,
Well, I noticed that he does have a PRS, and so I noticed that straight away that he's a Tremonti head.
He's got the Tremonti, he's got the PRS signature, Tremonti signature edition.
So have I as well. Yeah, we should compare. I should give it to him actually to play one tune on for me one day.
Oh, you love it, yeah.
I can't play it. It's on my shelf. I can't play for shit. So yeah, if you want it for one song, maybe you could play an Alter Bridge cover for me on it.
Well, he thought he'd surprise everyone, and he thought he'd play some old man rock in our last gig, and he pulled out his white Strat.
Yeah, I thought you were going to play some Cream or something.
Or Yngwie Malmsteen or something like that,
Perfect.
But so he thought he'd give it a try, but he got a couple of nice guitars there, BC Rich and different guitars that he normally sort of has a little play with on stage and things. I'm just happy getting stuck in with my my bass, Fender Jazz bass, which is an unusual choice for a rock sort of stroke metal band, but it gives that lovely big deep bass tones and stuff and really fills it up. It's nice warm sounding. So I don't use any distortion, I don't use any effects or anything. I just use that pure bass tone that's coming out of the amps. But I think it complements Josh's quite powerful drumming as well. Josh doesn't like to tickle the drums. He does some quite hard.
I'm not even going to say how many cymbals I've gone through in the last year. This is a bit...
No, you do slam them like really hard, and I'm like, wow, you got really into it. We touched upon Save Us All, and I want to know now, because another one of your singles, Cross the Bay, what made you decide to change that from your EP? Because it sounds slightly different. The production's way better than the album.
Yeah, I guess, well, a lot of the production and the changes to the production is due to the studio where we recorded it, actually. So We recorded the album version with Tim Vincent from Woodcraft Audio. And you know, the sound is well 10 times different from the original. You know, it's quite a thick sound, you know, it's a heavy, weighty sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a vast difference between the sound. And we felt that we didn't want to sort of get rid of that song and throw it in the bin, because we did feel it's quite a good song. It's got a good hook to it. It's quite a catchy song.
My
So we
favourite.
wanted to bring that up to, we wanted to refresh it really and bring it up to date. We wanted it to sit on the album with the rest of the tracks as well at the same quality. So we had to enhance it. And we think we've done that. We've added the sort of middle 8-bit in there and things like that. And yeah, it's a lot heavier sounding than the original.
Yeah, but it all just comes back to, as you said, and it's all back to the production. And you know, comparing Rebirth to the EP, you know, the production value has just gone up 10 times. And it got the sound that we wanted, you know. And again, I mean, I'm the newbie in the band. I mean, Neil's been there since the start, and you know, it just my only experience of playing the song has been the way we've sort of developed it now, apart from maybe my first couple of gigs where I was playing it like the original. But I just feel like, as you said, it's got that hook. It's catchy. It literally does get stuck in your head, because I end up singing it after our gigs anyway. And we've got a bunch of other songs which are catchy, but Cross the Bay seems to be one of those ones which you could stick on and it just gets stuck there. But yeah, it's a fab tune. And yeah, the production value on it is just crazy.
And that Cross the Bay track and things, you know, we've been playing some of these songs since 2017, so they're nearly 7 years old. But you know, we've thrown away more songs than we've actually got. I can tell you that much. So, you know, we write lots and lots of songs and things, and a lot of them get binned along the way. And certain ones make it through, you know, and Cross the Bear was one of them. Cross the Bear, that was quite a personal song to me. So I wrote the lyrics of that song, and it was about a mate who died. He was, what was he, 42, and he died of cancer. You know, young family and everything else. And you know, that song was based around that, really, around that scenario and things, you know, the fact that we've all got our crosses to bear and things in life, and but we've got to push through, you know. So that's what that song is all about, really. So I felt particularly that it was quite important that I wanted that on the album as well. So yeah.
Seriously, it's good to have songs like that, because it really relates to the audience. People understand those themes. Doing a lot of mental health and loss and all these things are a big part of it. Yeah, it's good that you have context like that in your songs.
Yeah, and to be fair, you know, Michael tell you stories about a lot of the songs we've got. Laudanum is particularly personal to him. I'm not gonna pretend like I remember the full story, so I'd let Mike explain that on a later podcast maybe. But that song was particularly important to him. You know, when we were in the studio, it had to be perfect. You know, I think there were some minor tweaks to the lyrics in the studio which we had to then go back and redo because they weren't quite right and the message wasn't quite there. And you know, we went back and, you know, Neil re-recorded bits of the lyrics just to make sure that the message that Mike wanted to portray in that song was there on the finished product. And yeah, it's from memory. Neil, just correct me if I'm wrong, but that song is another pretty personal one for Mike.
Yeah. It was, yeah. Again, you know, I'm gonna speak for Mike, but you know, it was about a mate of his who actually overdosed on drugs and things, you know, and unfortunately died. And you know, that's from a song from his sort of more growing up, really, you know, that he wanted to portray in his lyrics. And a lot of songs really that, you know, Mike has written about and things contain personal messages and things in there, you know, or it could be quite political things that we may be discussing in there, you know, all sorts of different stories and things. The lyrics are quite dark, If you have a little look on the album and things, it's got all the lyrics on the in the inside sheet and things in there. You look at them and you think, my God, whoever's written this, we need to lock them up. Because they are quite dark. But you know, that adds to what we do, you know, that dark quality to the lyrics, more of a heavy sound, and then quite a melodic sort of vocal singing them. It's sort of what Eulogy is all about, really.
Yeah, putting a slightly positive spin on the dark side, you know.
Yeah, well, no metal band wants to talk about fairies and stuff, unless you're power metal. But yeah.
That's the next album, okay? We're gonna do goblins and fairies and all the
Very
I know a particular fan of the genre of power metal, so it might have to put me off there. But my good friend loves power metal, so yeah.
What's the name of that band we supported last year, Josh? What are they called? Battleborn. There we are.
Yeah.
They sort of would class themselves as power metal. And they talk about video games and stuff like that in all their songs, you know?
Yeah, so the Battleborn, it's based on the Battleborn out of Skyrim. I mean, you boys.
right.
Yeah. So that's a lot of their songs are based around Skyrim and, you know, the Dragonborn and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, they are full on power metal. Like,
Yeah, got no intention of going down that road, but yeah.
We're more likely to go Steel Panther end, you know, we'll do that side of we'll do like funny.
If I see you dressed up as Merlin now, I know what's happening. I'm like, oh,
I'll have to take out my long robe and my big hat.
yeah. So yeah, did you have any like new material coming out then? I know that you mentioned you did play a song, which I am gonna play a bit of it to our viewers on the podcast because I did sneakily record a bit of it. So yeah,
the opening song or
the song that you said that is new, and I never heard of it.
So so we played two songs last Friday in Fuel. We opened up with a new song called Tomorrow's Lost, and that was our intro track. And then last but one song, well, just before Duality was called Pariah. And that's a new track as well. So two tracks very different from each other, Tomorrow's Lost and Pariah, and I think they're very different from the Rebirth album, actually. How did you what was your take on it from an audience point of view? You were there listening to it. What did you think compared to the rest of the material we've done?
What I think, right, that it's got an impact to it. The second song you played certainly packs a punch that is faster. It's very different to Rebirth. But I don't know, I like it. I like that more, if honest. More aggressive Eulogy, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, the idea with something that a common theme that we're always sort of talking about generally in practices and you know, whenever we're out and about is the idea of just evolving to the next level. I mean, we've done Rebirth and now we want to progress up to the next level as to whatever that's going to be. And the songs we're writing now are that next level. They're more complex, the parts are more impactful compared to, I mean, again, Rebirth, there's some banging tracks on that, we love them to bits, but it's getting that next level of impact with the next songs that we're producing. And Tomorrow's Lost is particularly fun to play, and Pariah is another one. It just, particularly with Pariah, well, both of them actually, it gives us a level of tightness, and that's something that we've been complimented on before, is, you know, being in sync with each other, and you know, it's on point and it's working. But yeah, we've got another third track which we're currently working on as well. So yeah, there are things in the works and we're quite excited. So yeah, the idea in the new year, we haven't formally discussed it yet, will be to get some of these into the studio, get them recorded, probably as singles. Ultimately, if we can get another album, that'd be great. But I don't think we're going to rush the album, the next one. So we're going to take the singles that we've got, develop them a bit further, and then get them into the studio.
Yeah, I think we're quite keen to get our new music and things out there. You know, I think we constantly, you know, I think we can't just sit on our laurels and sit back and think, there we are, our album's out there now, let's leave that go. You know, what we want to be doing is constantly drip feeding new music so we can show people we are developing, we are writing new stuff. And as Josh said, really, I think the new stuff, you know, Tomorrow's Lost and Pariah in particular are good examples of it. They're more progressive sounding, rather than that simple sort of format of a verse, a bridge, and a chorus, and a verse, a bridge, and a chorus, and outro. You know, there's more to it than that. You know, there's lots of interludes in there. There's lots of middle eights. There's lots of new guitar parts coming in. So it's developing our sound and making it bigger, heavier, better, more interesting. So
I think more modern as well. I think, you know, we're trying to, you know, based on a lot of the bands that are going out there at the minute, you know, it's just developing our sound to make it fit on the modern scene, really. Not quite making it full on commercial or anything, you know, it's making it our sound, but more approachable to new metalers or the younger crowd, so we get that sort of population at our gigs, and just making it more approachable for everyone, but not losing ourselves in that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, when you did play Pariah, I felt like if it was a different kind of tune to what I'm used to with you guys. I remember when you first appeared on the stage and you played that first track, I thought as well that was a new track, because I was like, I don't know any of these lyrics, and I played the album quite a bit, so I was a bit surprised. But yeah, it is good tunes. Like I said, I have to check out the studio, the singles when you release them. But yeah, if you're happy with me to show our viewers what it sounded like live and stuff, and I'll put that on there.
That's okay. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, that's all we want is for people to hear our stuff properly, and for it to come across properly. And often it doesn't on phones and things like that. But if it's a couple of seconds of a clip, then that's absolutely fine. You know, that's not going to harm anything. If you want to give them an example of what we're doing, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, help with promotion, certainly.
I mean,
that's fine.
Yeah.
I think what we'll do, you know, we'll keep you up to date with the progression of things as well. So once we've gone into the studio and we put these tracks down and things like that, we'll keep you up to date with it. So hopefully we can then bring you some copies of the new singles as they mix down and stuff. You can have a listen and see what you think.
Right, there's one question I always like to get in.
He loves this question.
I love this question because I always say it. What does metal mean to you?
What does metal mean to me?
Yeah, to you.
I mean, I'm a structural engineer, so metal means something totally different.
Yeah, but not
I work
in metal.
I work in steel now. What does metal mean to me? I mean, I've grown up with metal since I was what, 8, 9 when my cousin brought it in. So it means, you know, it's a way of connecting with a different bunch of people. I mean, we were always considered to be like outcasts, us metalheads and things like that. But I've always thought of it as being part of a community and being able to listen to things which make you feel good. Yeah, it's always just been a bit of a special thing for me. But I like all sorts of music, but metal's always the thing that I've clung to more than anything else. I mean, I say metal, the hard rock metal, that sort of transition. I really extend myself as far as the black metal side of things. But it's always just been a bit of a special thing for me. So it's, yeah, pretty cool. The metal lot are a cool bunch.
Yeah, I think I've got to say the same. The fact that, you know, since I was about 17 years old, I think, you know, there was all sorts of bands out, you know, all the 80s bands and stuff like that. But then, you know, I started hearing songs like Kiss and bands like Black Sabbath, AC/DC and stuff like that. And I thought, wow, what is this stuff? You know, I love it. And I don't know why it just hit that nerve with me. And I thought, you know, this is the type of music that I want to listen to, you know. So I very quickly then sort of formed a band around that as well. And that's what got me into sort of singing, playing guitar. I used to play keyboards and things at times as well. So, you know, it's been in with me since a teenager, really. You know, I'm 50 now, and You know, it stood the test of time. I'm still listening to rock music and metal. And the good thing is as well, you know, there are so many genres that sit within metal, if you want to call it metal.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your melodic rock, which Mike will laugh at this because he knows I like AOR rock. You know, a bit of the old keyboards and stuff like that as well. I do love it. I like the Scandi rock scene and all of that as well, you know, all the Scandinavian rock bands and things. I love it all the way up to, you know, things like Metallica and things. I'd probably touch on sort of more of the thrash metal scene as well, or speed metal. I quite like that side of stuff as well. So yeah, I think it's all encompassing, really, isn't it? You know, it's a way of life. We've been brought up in it, and you know, hopefully, I'll be 65 still playing metal with a bit of luck.
What I want to ask you guys as well is that, which is speaking about the metal genre, but every metal band seems to like love birds. Like, why have you got a logo as a bird? And obviously, because there's a lot of bands that does it. Like Outbreak, Shy Down, Those Down Crows. There's so many like birds in like albums and like. Then, but what inspired you to come up with a bird as your logo?
That's the old
Well,
logo, and I'll leave that to you, Neil.
yeah, and that comes from the Metamori EP, and it comes from the song Corvid. And as you probably know, COVID is not COVID-19, the virus. It's about, you know, it's a bird, you know, it's about a jackdaw, you know, it's a COVID is that, but it's more than that. It's about death itself, taking someone, you know. That's where the lyrics come from. And we went off that COVID sort of idea really with the crow. Don't know whether it was before people like Those Damn Crows done it or not. I don't know. It probably come out around the same time, but it wasn't meant to sort of replicate what other bands were doing at the time. It was just an idea we had, really.
But Josh, you know, like you said, it's it's in a lot of sort of, well, it's been in a lot of different bits of album artwork and stuff for ages. I mean, there could be elements of it. Thinking about it, you know, you've got like Norse mythology, you know, Odin and his ravens, you know, they were always considered an omen of death, and you know, death, blackbirds, and you know, things like that. At one point we were all sort of associated with metal, you know, way back when everyone thought it was the darkest thing in the world. It was all these bloody Satan worshipping metalheads and stuff. Whereas I'm pretty sure I haven't heard anyone say anything like that for bloody years, but not to say that it's not true, but I don't know.
Is it, you know, we our logo has changed, particularly on the release of Rebirth and things. So obviously we come away from Eulogy inside the crow and the wings, to the round circular sort of Eulogy, you know. We decided to change it up really.
Yeah, and it's good. It's just that I was just like, I don't know whether it was a secret code that you guys know about when it comes to metal.
With the new logo, just as a bit of trivia, there's a sound wave going through the middle of the logo, and there's a particular red line in the logo. This is what the boys have told me. It's about sort of 3/4 away along the logo, and it's basically to symbolize that's the stage I say we are at, but you know, Mike, Neil, and Brian. I don't want to say they're old. They're older than me. That's the stage of life type of thing. That's the stage where, yeah, that's the word, mature. I like that. You know, and there's that red line is sort of to symbolize that's the stage we're at in life. You know, we're about there, and we want to get all the way to the end. Go off with a bang type thing.
Yeah, I have to look at that then because I've got a Eulogy t-shirt. I got
It's
the
on the t-shirt.
so,
A little grey line, or with a little red grey line running through it.
All right, I'll have a look at that. If I can't find it, I'll shop it.
I'll tell you where it goes, Josh. It's fine.
Is there anything you want to see?
Well, the one thing we do want to mention, and I think I I mentioned it the other Friday, was the fact that 2024 we've got some tour dates booked in. We're supporting a band called Pistols at Dawn. Is that right?
Yeah, come on from
From Atlanta, yeah. So they're coming over. They're supporting Fozzy on tour in the UK. And off the back of that Fozzy tour, they're obviously headlining a number of dates throughout the UK, and we're fortunate to be main support for that. So we're really looking forward to that in end of February, beginning of March. So we're going to be playing Bristol, Southampton, Bridgewater, Reading. So, and then the week after them, we've been playing Hard Rock Hell in Great Yarmouth. So quite a lot of dates on the horizon. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're playing the AOR festival at Great Yarmouth, so you know we're the heavier side of all of them probably. So we're hoping that will give us a bit of an edge, make us stand out that little bit as well. You know, they'll be comparing our sound to, I don't know, like an Aerosmith type band off to the side. So that'll be particularly interesting, but I reckon it'll be awesome anyway.
Please wake them the fuck up and play Duality by Slipknot.
Well, this is it. So we've got the two covers. We've got Zombie and we've got Duality. If it's going well, we may play Zombie just to get him singing. If it's going poorly, we'll play Duality and come out with a... So it'll be like, okay, this is whatever, Duality all the way.
And just let the carnage loose, like.
Just obliterate the crowd, you know.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
Well, it's a festival, so hopefully someone's in a beer keg feel.
Yeah, I should get someone up on stage with one. I've been very tempted to do that ever since we started playing it. Just get someone up on stage with a baseball bat and a keg and get them to whack it at the certain parts of the song. That would be really cool.
It would have been even better if it was one of our beer kegs, Laudanum beer as well.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because I was going to ask about that as well. Do you have any more beer coming in? Because I didn't see it at your last gig.
No, well, it's brewed by an independent brewery in Newport called Weird Dad's Brewery, and fantastic little craft brewery. They actually done another run of it this autumn, I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was October, November. They done another run of Laudanum, and they were selling it in their bar and their tapas bar and stuff, which was really nice to see it back on there. But you know, we purchased a number of cans and things off them during the time, so they are the ones who are actually preparing it and brewing it and putting it out there. So yeah, I'm sure Weird Dad's Brewery will be more than happy to push some more Laudanum out there in the near future. It's been a bit of a hit, so you know, we went down really well with people. People have said, you know, it was a lovely tasting beer and stuff, really strong, really hits the spot. So yeah, it's good stuff. And
I've heard that he makes some really nice Scotch eggs. At least I saw from his Instagram post, he had a Scotch egg and a can of Laudanum on the side, and it looked
lovely, didn't it?
It looked, you know, I kind of wish I was in the photo, but I'm not. Yeah, so I'm sure, you know, you boys could pick up a can, you could pop down there.
Yeah, and you know, I think there will be a return at some point. Laudanum too, you never know.
We've got all sorts of ideas for other little things.
And not just that, you know, I think what would go really well with a nice can of Laudanum is a corned beef pie. And our guitarist, Brian, he makes fantastic corned beef pies, doesn't he? So perhaps we'll get some Eulogy corned beef pies out there.
Yeah,
the Eulogy logo in the middle of it.
Yeah, so you've got fans doing coffee and beer now, and then you'd be the next trend, or we're gonna start a little Greg's shop called Eulogy.
Well, I mean, we did briefly talk about doing a hot sauce called Pain Is Mine, because that's one of our songs, you know. Thought that might be pretty good.
Chili sauce, Pain Is Mine, yeah.
Chili sauce, Pain Is Mine, yeah.
Chili sauce on a pasty, yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, so lots of ideas, lots of things to think about for 2024. So yeah, you know, if there are any like say promoters or booking agents or anything like that who do happen to come across this podcast, then hit us up definitely, because we're more than up to getting out there and gigging. Really, we're going to get our music out as far as possible. Really.
And if there's any of you in the Southampton, Reading, Bridgewater, or Bristol areas in the next, in March, just come along and see us. Hopefully, we'll have some corned beef pie. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, just chuck Peter's pasties at them for the ideas.
Whoa.
Please do not give me good ideas, okay? I would just lob the corned beef pasties from behind my drum kit,
Yeah, awesome, yeah.
Because then we'll be into the old red sauce or brown sauce debate then with the crowd.
Oh yeah, you don't want
Like,
No, it'll run past the next lock for your Zoom call, so we can't do that.
that. But
yeah, it's a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, thank you for doing this. This is really good.
Hey, no problem at all. Like I say, if sorry we haven't got the full compliment, but hopefully, you've got what you needed out of me and Josh. And like I say, we're more than happy to do any more of these podcasts, particularly when we start releasing new music and stuff. We're more than happy to come back on and have a chat about it and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's
fantastic.
great.
Thanks very much, guys, for having us on. Really appreciate it. Been
Yeah,
absolute pleasure. Cheers, Eulogy.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.
Right, cheers, boys. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye.